Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. We're going to do an update on my Dutch aquascape. We've taken out 2 plant species and added 2 different plant species, and we'll take a little trip to Aquarium Gardens to talk about one of the plants that I've added. We did run into some really quite significant algae issues, especially diatoms. This was really affecting the Marsilea, the Cryptalbida brown and the Staragine in the main. In fact, it covered pretty much all of the plants. So what I did was quite a lot of manual removal, followed up with quite frequent water changes, and then I added as many ram's horn snails as I could find in my Highline 400, put them in here, and added another sort of 10 or 20 shrimp that have been breeding in this tank here, and just keeping an eye on things, keeping up the water changes. It is dying back, and I think the snails are eating it, and I think it's just as the system becomes more mature, diatoms tend to die back on their own accord anyway. I think the process has been slowed down by the lack of biological filtration. So we've got the Iwase BioStyle 75 on here, which is rated for a 75 litre aquarium, which is about 20 US gallons. But the media capacity is relatively small, and I think even though we haven't got much livestock in here, we do have an active soil and lots of plant growth, and those actually create a lot of organics on their own. And I believe that the lack of biological filtration in the filter has allowed the diatom's lifespan to kind of continue. So I have actually put some Seachem Purigen in the filter as well, just to clear the water a bit. It probably looks a little bit cloudy now because we are using an atomizer CO2 diffuser in the BioStyle filter, so that acts as like an inline diffuser, and there's also a heater inside there as well, retrofitted. There is a video on that technique. I removed the Cryptalbida from the front right. That was absolutely covered in all sorts of different types of algae, and it's such a slow grower. I don't think it looked great. I would have probably had to wait 12 months for it to form a solid tight carpet as I would want it to. So I removed it completely, and I actually moved the Myoia slightly forward, thinned it out quite considerably because it was becoming kind of overgrown and the leaves were smothering each other. So I think one thing I've learned with Dutch aquascaping is keep the individual groups of plants relatively thinned out. Don't let them overgrow and become too compact, because that just restricts growth of the under leaves. I removed a lot of the worst affected Sagittaria leaves and actually just ripped out probably 50% of the plants because it was becoming overgrown. You have to keep every week on removing runners to prevent it from taking over the whole tank. The Staragine I've chopped right back quite considerably, and the new growth is really cute, kind of tiny leaves, which you can see, especially in the foreground where I've trimmed more frequently. I removed the Rotala green completely. That just wasn't growing in the form that I wanted it to. I wanted to kind of grow upwards, but it just kept creeping forward and staying very low. So I removed that completely, and then I moved the Hygrophila 53B from the back left to where the Rotala was. And then I planted some Crypspirillus red in the back left. That was donated from this aquarium here. Thinned out the Crypwenditii leaves quite considerably, just removed the worst affected algae leaves. There is still some algae on there, but it's okay, that will die back hopefully naturally. And then the Albida brown I thinned out a little bit as well, removing the worst affected leaves. Marsilea I've trimmed and kept this sort of triangular formation now. And then behind that we've planted our new plant. Speaking of which, let's pop over to Aquarium Gardens now and take a look at that and just have a little chat with Dave and talk about a couple of the scapes that we did together 9 months ago. So let's pop there now.
There's your Avoides.
And that was from Ty's tank?
Yeah. It's like 2 little baby plantlets that just...
It'll be interesting to see how big it goes, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's about as big as the leaves get in Ty's tank, so it'd be perfect size for yours.
You'll see how it does, but it's nice to have a different texture. So just for the viewers that don't know, this is east and west, all plants from the eastern hemisphere, western hemisphere.
Yeah.
So America, North America, South America, pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then eastern which is mainly Asian plants. And then the idea is we've connected them, which you can't see the wood anymore really.
It's just a big ball of hydrocotyle. It's gone
So
crazy.
is it the Leucocophala, isn't it?
Yeah, Leucocophala and then some Anubias as
Anubias
well.
looks beautiful as well. I never even noticed that till just now.
Then when you get up close, you go, oh, there's another plant.
Is that the gracilis?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does better out of water than in water.
Yeah. The roots are insane as well because they go right down to the floor of the tank.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
All the way down.
Look at that, that's proper jungle. Amazing. So that'll be a huge nutrient export, won't it? So
Yeah, I think it really helps the tanks for sure.
produces oxygen, takes in ammonia and any other nitrogen.
It's quite important for this layout because there's no other fast growth to speak of really, so it really supports.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got flowers. Beautiful. That'll be good to see how they continue to develop. They sort of go through little iterations now and again, don't they?
Yeah, they always change. Like I know, like this star guy, he's just getting covered with the hydrocotyle
takes over, yeah.
and I know the Monte Carlo will probably get too thick soon and need sorting out. And plants come into their own at different stages. Like the Guyana's looking great in the middle there right now, but
Yeah, yeah.
it wasn't there a month ago. And
Yeah. It's always developing and it's always evolving. So this is Toast Treatment tank. How long ago was it? This
was 6 months or so, yeah. Very overgrown at the moment with the Guyana, loads of it, and obviously the floating plants, so we'll cut that right back. And
Is it later?
it's got CO2, although it does need refilling.
Amazing. What fish are they, do you know?
Yellow phantoms
Oh yeah.
and some Julii corridoris.
Oh yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah, the Sagittarius really come into play now. That was
Yeah.
looking nice.
Yeah, I've got that in my Dutch and my other nature aquarium. As a background mixed in with the Spirulus red.
Your Nymphoides at the back here.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
So this is Nymphoides Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's like a bit like a lily, isn't it?
It's a bit like a lily, but it's not very big. Like you can see on my hand, that leaf is only 2 finger widths.
Yeah.
It's quite a small leaf. I thought it was bigger, but it's not.
Beautiful. And there's MD's tanks. You just trim them down.
Yeah, just trim them down. Jay's just done a trim down on that. So there was loads of Ludwigia here before. It was a massive jungle.
Yeah.
So taking all that out, moved some plants around a bit, opened up a bit of space. You can actually see the fish again now.
Yeah. And then this is lovely.
It's probably the best no CO2 scape. Not that I've had many in here, but it's probably the best no CO2 scape I've had in the shop.
Yeah. That's right.
Really clean. We have, for full transparency, we have changed that Java fern because without CO2 they go black, don't they?
Oh yeah, okay.
That's important to say, but if you only have to change it once every 6 months, I think that's livable, isn't it?
Yeah, agreed.
All the other plants are original.
Lovely. Okay, mate, I'll say cheerio and good to see you, mate.